Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and if you are new on my channel, then welcome. Today's video is a makeup tutorial as promised. I did say so in my last video and here I am. For today's tutorial, I really wanted to use the Jaclyn Hill and Morphe palette because this is one of my favorite palettes of all time, and also it has such beautiful spring appropriate colors in here, especially in this section, which is what I applied to my eyes as well, that I really wanted to play with this. And yeah, I thought that using these more corally, peachy, warm toned shades would be perfect for springtime. It's a bit of a contrast from my previous video in which I was wearing a very grungy, very deep and vampy kind of makeup look, but I was just kind of feeling it at the time. I don't know why, but I sometimes get these moods that even though we're in spring and, you know, the color scheme should be changing towards more like pastel-y, more warm kind of colorful shades, I decided to go with a straight up brown and burgundy grungy kind of look. I don't know why, but I that's how I am sometimes. This is me trying to be more season appropriate. I hope you guys like it, and I hope that it gives you some ideas or that it maybe inspires you to recreate something like this for spring, because I think it's perfect. Enough of me talking, and let's jump into the video. I'm starting off with already moisturized and primed skin, and I'm going straight into the eyeshadow, but all the details of products that I used will be listed in the description box as always. And I'm starting the look off with a transition color. I'm taking the shade Silk Cream and I'm buffing that into my crease. And the next shade is Butter, which I am putting slightly lower in the crease, and I'm doing this exact same thing. I just want some kind of warmth in the crease, and then of course I'm going back in with the original brush and blending the edges of everything. Then I took the shade Buns and I am taking a very fluffy brush and I'm starting to buff that into the outer corners of my eyes. I am more so focusing it towards the outer V, slightly dragging it in the crease as well, and then of course going back in with the previous brushes just to blend over the edges and make sure that everything is smooth and blending into one another. And then I took the shades Sissy and Little Lady and I mixed those two together and placed them on my eyelid. Not very specifically, I just took them on my fingers and swiped them on my lid, as you can see, and those two colors made this beautiful corally shade, which I really liked. And then I went back in with the fluffy brush with no additional product. I just wanted to blend the transition of the shimmery color to the outer corner color. Again, going over the edges and just everywhere where the colors are meeting. I wanted to make sure that everything is buffed out as nicely as possible. Then I took the shade Mocha and I focused that very intensely in the outer V and near my lash line. And I am doing this V-shape thing. You guys already know I do that always because I want my eyes to look more elongated. And then of course I went back in with the fluffy brush and blended it out. And I also took a bit of the shade Buns again to make the blending even more easy. And again, going back with the previous brushes, and you can see me building up the color a bit more, and I did those steps until I was happy with how it was looking. So I was building up the color and I was blending it out. And then I went back in with the shades Sissy and Little Lady, and I used a bit of MAC Fix Plus and applied it with a brush to give it that more metallic kind of look on the eyelids. Again, one last time, blending over everything. And then I curled my lashes, applied some mascara, applied some falsies, and again all the details will be in the description box of what I used. And then it was time for foundation, and that's where things kind of went a bit haywire. My camera overheated and it shut off at one point and I didn't notice it, and then I had to move the things around a bit, so I had to sit a bit further. And yeah, so I had to allow the camera to cool down a bit, and the lights were too close to it. So anyway, that's why this small part of the video is a bit different. But then I also applied the concealer, as you can see, and I was blending it out with my Eco Tool sponge. And then the camera had cooled down a bit and I could scoop you guys closer again. And as you can see, I have done my brows as well. So I tried to do some of the more boring stuff off camera. And then I was setting down my concealer underneath my eyes with the Born This Way Ethereal Setting Powder. You guys know I love this stuff. I finished up the look underneath my eyes, first going in with the shade Butter and just lining the whole bottom, well, lower lid, and also using the shade Mocha, focusing that more so in the lower lash line and near the outer V of my eye, connecting the lower lid and the upper lid, making some beautiful faces in, in some of these shots. But yeah, I was just trying to buff over everything and make sure that the top lid and the lower lid match. And then I took just the shade Little Lady because that's more of a corally one, and I focused that on the inner part of my lower lid. And then I took the shade in Light, which I used underneath my brow, and then I took the shade Beam and put that in my inner corners. Taking the shade Faint, I went over the inner corners because I wanted it to have that pinky kind of hue to it as well. And then I applied some lower lash mascara, MAC 4/Lash Extreme Black Mascara as always, and I used the Chanel Soleil Tan de Chanel. I went over all of the outer perimeters of my face, and then using Becca's Champagne Pop on my cheeks and down the bridge of my nose and on the Cupid's bow. And once we were highlighted, I of course went over it with the small brush just to mush it into the skin. A bit of bronzer, of course. The Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer is something I'm still not over. It is my favorite, die-hard favorite bronzer, and I'm using that to go over some of the areas on my face to set down the cream product that we used underneath, and also to contour my nose a bit. And then I took the Baked blush by Milani in the shade Luminoso, and I used that on my cheeks because it's a beautiful corally peachy kind of blush, and it went perfectly with the look. And then I used the Strobing Highlighter by Essence, and I applied a bit of that underneath my eyes, a bit on the forehead, a bit on the chin, just to kind of give that nice glowing effect to my skin. And of course I had to finish off the look with the Givenchy Healthy Glow powder in the shade number 2. I wanted to use a peachy color on the lips, but using the Meet Matte hues in the shade Doting, it was too pink, and I was kind of looking at it and I was thinking maybe it's okay, but then in the end I decided nope, it's a no-go, and it was just too bright and I didn't want it to overpower the eyes. So instead I used NYX's Butter Gloss in the shade Fortune Cookie, and I think it went perfectly with the look. I finished it off with a bit of MAC Fix Plus and some All Nighter setting spray by Urban Decay, and that was it. So okay guys, this was the more springtime appropriate makeup look, and I really hope that you like the tutorial. It looks fresh, it looks feminine, it looks really colorful, and as I think I already said, springy. Honestly guys, I'm kind of running short on ideas of what kind of videos to do next. I have a few ideas at the back of my mind, but it would help me out immensely if you guys left some kind of suggestions down in the comment section. If you want to see more tutorials, then leave that in the comment section as well, because I am always happy to do them. Whatever kind of makeup looks you would like to see, that would help out as well. Basically, I need your help, guys. As always, if you enjoyed this video, then please don't forget to give it a thumbs up and also subscribe to my channel. And yeah, other than that, I shall see you guys in my next video, whatever that might be. We'll see. Bye.